Hello everyone! Welcome to my channel. My name is Maja Wehndee A. Alojado. Nice to meet you. I am currently studying in Our Lady of Fatima University and I am from STEM 11YA6B. But before we start our discussion, I would like to say that I hope you're all doing good today. So now, let's proceed to the discussion. Our topic for today is all about the normal distribution. What is normal distribution?
So, normal distribution, also known as the Gaussian distribution, is the most important probability distribution in statistics for independent random variables. But why is it the most important probability distribution in statistics? Because the probability distribution in statistics accurately describes the distribution of values for many natural phenomena. Characteristics that are the sum of many independent processes frequently follow normal distributions. Halimbawa, heights, blood pressure, measurement error, and IQ scores, they are the ones who follow the normal distribution. So next, most people recognize its familiar bell-shaped curve in statistical reports. Look at the image presented. As you can see, the blue curve is the normal distribution and the yellow is the histogram shows some data that follows it closely but not perfectly, which is usual. They often call it as a bell curve because it looks like a bell. Next is the normal distribution. As you can see in the picture, it is symmetrical at the mean and the two tails never touch the horizontal axis. Theoretically, no matter how far in either direction the curve extends, it never meets the x-axis but it gets increasingly closer. Next is the normal distribution. It is symmetrical, as I said earlier, a distribution in which the mean, median, and mode are all equal. It is a center component of inferential statistics. And also, standardized normal distribution has a mean of 0 and standard deviation is 1. Next is the z-score. What is the z-score? It is a numerical measurement that describes a value's relationship to the mean of a group of values. Z-score is measured in terms of standard deviations from the mean. If a z-score is 0, it indicates that the data point's score is identical to the mean score. So it gives you an idea of how far from the mean a data point is. But more technically, it's a measure of how many standard deviations below or above the population mean a raw score is. So here is the z-score formula. So, i-explain ko sila ngayon. Yung x ay yung score, and yung mu ay mean, and yung sigma natin ay standard deviation. So now, let's proceed to the following given. I will give 3 examples in order for us to solve it. In this given example, ang mean natin ay 20, and ang ating standard deviation ay 15. Para masagutan natin yung b, we need to turn to the next page. As I said earlier, our formula is C is equal to x minus mean over standard deviation. So we need to apply the given into the formula. So 40 minus 20 over 15. Bale, sasubtract lang natin yung 40 sa 20 and then magiging answer ay 20. Tapos yung 15, i-copy lang natin. After we divide the 20 over 15, the answer will be 1.33333. So, i-round off natin siya. Bale, magiging 1.33 na lang yung answer. Next example is, what is the raw score if the z-score is 2.6? As you can see, hindi na z-score yung hinahanap dito. Raw score na. So, ang formula natin ay x is equal to mean plus c times standard deviation. Ang gagawin lang natin ay ilalagay lang natin ulit yung number kagaya sa formula. Bale, 20, which is ang ating mean plus 2.6 na z-score, and then ang ating standard deviation of 15. So what we're gonna do now is to multiply the 2.6 times 15, and then the answer will be 39. So after we multiply those numbers, we will add the 20 plus 39 and then the answer is 59. Next example is, what is the z-score of raw score x equals 50? So, as you can see, z-score siya ulit. So, same formula. And yung gagawin natin is, ganun ulit. 50 minus 20 over 15. Bale, i-minus natin yung 50 sa 20, and then the answer will be 30 over 15. So, after we divide the 30 over 15, the answer will be 2. And that concludes the z-score. So now we're going back to the normal distribution as we use the empirical rule method. So now, what is empirical rule? It states that 99.7% of data observed following a normal distribution lies within 3 standard deviation of the mean. So here is the empirical rule. Now, under this rule, 68% of the data falls within 1 standard deviation, 95% within 2 standard deviation, and 99.7% within 3 standard deviations from the mean. Next, we'll see the complete normal distribution values. So, look at the image presented. Now that we know about the empirical rule, let's proceed to the given examples. In this given example, the test score of a science class with 90 students and distributed normally with a mean of 25 and the standard deviation of 5 using the empirical rule. So let's answer the following questions. So sa letter A, what percentage of class has a test score between 15 and 35? So ang ating mean ay 25, so we're gonna put it in the middle. And then, ang ating standard deviation ay 5. So, from middle to the right, mag-a-add lang tayo ng 5. So, 25, 30, 35, 40. Ang next naman is yung kukunin natin from middle to left. Ang gagawin lang natin ay ima-minus yung 5. So, 25, 20, 15, and 10. After that, we will determine the percentage of test score between 15 and 35. So from here to 35, we will apply the empirical rule. Here is the empirical rule. As we can see, the normal distribution values, and we need to add those numbers for us to get the percentage. Here's the solutions. 13.5% plus 34% plus 35.5% plus 34% is equal to 95. Our final answer is 95%. Next example is, how many students have a test score greater than or equal to 40? We're gonna use again the empirical rule. So now, since students yung hinahanap, ang gagawin natin is yung 0.15 ay ating i-multiply sa 90 students. Here's the solution. 0.15% times 90 equals to 0.135. So, since ang hinahanap natin ay student, the final answer will be 0 student dahil nga hindi tayo pwede maglagay ng decimal point and yung katabi niya ay 1, round off, so stay lang. Next is, approximately how many students have a test score between 20 and 30? We will use again the empirical rule. Now it starts at 20 hanggang 30. Here's the solution. 34% plus 34% is equal to 68%. So yung 68%, dahil students yung hinahanap, i-multiply natin siya by 90. Now 68% times 90 is equal to 61.2. So the final answer will be 61 since mag-round off tayo dahil students nga yung hinahanap. And that's the last example in our discussion today.
Alright, we're done. Thank you so much everyone for listening, and I hope you learned a lot in our discussion. But before I end the video, I want to leave you a quote that says, "Life is a math equation. In order to gain the most, you have to know how to convert negatives into positives." Thank you so much, and bye!